100 times in the form of, an elevator pitch. So that is between 1 to 3 minutes of a pitch, mostly 1.5 minutes. So you have about 90 seconds to impress someone, to extend you an invitation. So I wanted to talk to you all about what that looks like, because we all have, if you're an entrepreneur, if you run a nonprofit or a for-profit, whether you're looking to get partners in or you're looking for investors, you have to do a pitch. And for the most part, it's usually a start with an elevator pitch. You need first of all, for them to want to listen to what you're doing, before you even get them, before they even understand what you're trying to achieve, you need to be able to be interested. And that is what an elevator pitch is. So for a normal pitch, it's about 3 to 10 minutes, right? But for an elevator pitch, you want them to be interested. So how do you summarize what you do so that they, whoever it is you're talking to in the form of this elevator, wants to listen to you and wants to invite you to tell them more? I believe the first rule of an elevator pitch is to forget the entire story and tell them what you're trying to achieve with this thing. Give them the vision. So for instance, I am trying to eradicate household air pollution in Africa because it takes over 8 million lives globally and about 3.5 million on the continent. And I was personally affected by that. But the thing is, because that is my founder's story, it's long, right? You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about why, what you want to achieve, and hopefully cross your fingers and hope that you sold that and they want to know how you're going to do it. So you know how in an elevator you talk about the what, the why, the how. In an elevator, you just talk about what you're going to achieve. You're not able to tell them how or why. And how do you do that? How do you tell someone, I'm going to eradicate household air pollution in Africa, and put them in a position where they don't think you're crazy and they want to listen more? You do that by believing it yourself first, I think. So I am fundraising currently. Again, I have been doing this my entire career, and I do get opportunities to tell longer pitches, but I am getting mostly opportunities to try and get people interested, to invite me to do a Zoom call like this one, or to invite me to go through their office and tell them more so they can sign on as partners. And the most exciting thing for me that I do when I'm in an elevator with someone I'm very interested to work with, I introduce myself and I tell them what I'm gonna do, but with a twist. So I don't just say I'm going to eradicate household air pollution in Africa. I use a present participle, like I am eradicating household air pollution in Africa. And that invites them to want to ask, how are you doing that? So if you say I'm going to, you want to do that in 2030, you want to start in 2030 or 2075, nobody knows. But if you invite them or get their attention by letting them know you're already doing the work, then the question becomes how. How did I get Prince William to give me £1 million? Or how did I get Echoing Green to sign me on as a fellow and try and help me fundraise? By letting them know I was already doing the work. And I did start doing the work super early on. So I grew up in Ukuru, which means nothing, but to me it is one of the biggest slums in Nairobi. I lost my parents at a very young age, and then at 16 I got pregnant. So my daughter and I, living in abject poverty, had to use a stove to cook, and when she was 2 she got burnt, which is the reason why I started my business. So that's my why. But you see, I was just about to bore you right now because it was long and the elevator has opened and the investor or the potential partner has walked out. So I don't tell them that. I tell them that once they extend an invitation, once they're compelled to want to listen more, even if not go to their office, but grab a coffee immediately. And most times you want to shock someone so they give you an opportunity to tell them more immediately, that same day, or continue the conversation once the elevator opens. And I don't think you do that by saying what you want to achieve. You do that by saying what you're already doing to get you to what you want to achieve. So if you get an opportunity to sit down with someone, you can continue your elevator pitch. But before you do that, give them an elevator pitch that is compelling enough for an invitation. And in my opinion, that is what an elevator pitch looks like. Thank you.